It's the Monday Morning Show. Today is May 30th, 2018. I'm Ken LaSalle from kenlasalle.com. And as much as I hate to say this, I am through with Blizzard games. What? Oh, I'm sorry. Right. Blizzard Entertainment Incorporated. I'm through with them. And if you look at those names, those two names, you might get some idea exactly why. And this is no small thing for me. I've been playing Blizzard games for more than 20 years. I started with Warcraft 2 and even went back to play the original Warcraft. I thought they were amazing, but they couldn't hold a candle to Diablo. The original Diablo. 1996. I remember seeing a stack of Diablo boxes at Costco, the way they display wine these days, taller than I was. I knew Diablo would be something special, and I was not disappointed. My friend Essex and I could play Diablo together through our dial-up connection. Sure, the connection sucked and our games often dropped, but it was fun. I must have played Diablo and its long-forgotten expansion Hellfire dozens of times. But 4 years later, when Diablo 2 came out, I had a new obsession. No, I was never crazy about StarCraft, played it a few times, but it was clearly a multiplayer game from the start, and I'm not really into multiplayer games. Nothing wrong with them, just not my thing. But I loved Diablo 2 and its expansion, Lord of Destruction. Played the hell out of that game. Thought I would never put it down. But then, the girl who lived in the apartment next to mine asked me if I was into MMOs. I told her I'd never played one, but I was interested. She told me she worked at Blizzard and could get me into an alpha test for a new game they were developing, which they were calling World of Warcraft. I played the alpha. I played the beta. I bought WoW on its release day. I bought the Burning Crusade. I bought Wrath of the Lich King. I bought Cataclysm. I bought Mists of Pandaria. I bought Warlords of Draenor. I bought Legion. WoW was my game. Sure, it was multiplayer, but Blizzard was smart enough to include enough content for us solo, casual players as well. And I played that game for over a decade. Can you believe that? Over a decade. There was a time when I thought nothing could top Blizzard games. But it's at times like that, when your faith in something or someone is so utterly complete, that you really need to watch your back. Because the surprise is most assuredly on its way. Because as a solo casual player, I couldn't just run to whatever content was next for me in the game. Oftentimes, I would need to grind so I could level up, so I could be tough enough for the next content. Grinding was easy. I would just go back to an area I'd beaten because the creatures there were lower in level than me and couldn't kill me. At least not right away. Enter level scaling. Blizzard introduced level scaling so that creatures would no longer be easy to beat, and you would take longer playing the game to beat them. They would take groups of players, and the solo casual players like me, were forced to deal with it, or, in my case, find the door. And so, I left WoW last year, and that sucked. I loved everything about WoW, and I would have played it for another decade had Blizzard not quietly booted me out to games that were more forgiving for the casual player. And I've accepted that. I've found some small measure of peace knowing that the game I loved so much was taken from me. Anyway, I could always play Diablo 3. Diablo 3 sure ain't the best game in the series, but it'll scratch an itch. And when I recently bought a new PC, Diablo 3 was one of the first games I tried loading onto my machine. There was just one problem. I had to use Blizzard's authenticator to assure Blizzard that this really was me asking to play my game. Unlike every other company in the known world, I can't just show them a receipt or enter a username and password. Nope. I have to use Blizzard's Authenticator. And I hadn't used that since I bought my new phone because I hadn't needed to, because I stopped playing WoW. And you know what? It wouldn't work. The only solution I could find was to daisy chain my old phone to my new phone because, unlike every other app in existence, Blizzard's Authenticator won't work on your new phone without your old phone or some such nonsense, which is when I said, fuck it, I'm calling customer service. Only, there is no customer service. Or at least if there is, there's no way to reach them. And Blizzard is very persistent in keeping any contact information as far from their customers as they can make it. I couldn't find it on their website. I couldn't find it anywhere. So, I tweeted Blizzard's customer service, and that actually got me an answer. I was given a link to follow for contacting customer service. All I needed to do was enter a code provided by, you guessed it, by the Authenticator. Back to Blizzard's Twitter account I went. And I was told that I could contact them simply by telling them that my child was being sexually harassed. Now, I don't have a child, and I'm pretty sure that non-existent child was not being sexually harassed, but Blizzard told me that this was the only way I could ask to play my game, by telling them that a child was being sexually harassed. When I mentioned that to Blizzard's Twitter account, I was then told to email a photo of my driver's license, just to play a game I had already bought and paid for. And you know what? That was it. I was done. I mean, how would sending a copy of my driver's license do anything? How would they know that was actually me? How would they know I was actually sending it? What the hell kind of corporation makes people jump through such absurd, horrible, nightmarish, nonsensical hoops? And that's when I realized that's all Blizzard is anymore. A corporation. They don't care about you. They just want your money. Once the money is in their pockets, you can go to hell. But in my case, I'm going to Steam. I've got lots of games on Steam, and none of them, not a single one, not from the big publishers, not from the indie publishers, not one of them, asks me to tell them that my child is being sexually harassed. Goodbye, Blizzard. I'm sorry you turned out to be so shitty. Until next time, be good to yourself, be kind to others, and let's make this world a better place. Without Blizzard.